Mike, Mike Davis, I know you're super busy and you spent so much time with us yesterday going on. I hated to do this, but I got to get your opinion since you were one of the very first people to bring this up. The New York Times has an article today, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're actually saying that Act Blue and what you said, this has been a couple of years ago, I think now, about taking money from foreign donors and giving it to Democratic candidates may actually just not only be a fact, but actually Act Blue may have lied in trying to cover it up. Is the New York Times actually it's hard for them to have a favorable article, but is this actually kind of start to reveal some truths of what you and James O'Keefe and, Natalie Winters and others, Mike Benz, have been arguing for a long time is just nothing but an organization that funnels foreign money into an American election, sir?
This New York Times story is pretty damning for Act Blue because it shows there's evidence, including memos between Act Blue and its attorneys at Covington and Burling, a very prestigious Democrat, white shoe law firm in Washington, D.C., one of the best firms in the world. There's memos in this reporting where Covington's attorneys are advising Act Blue that there is potential criminal misconduct with how they are handling these donations into Act Blue. And there's also evidence that the leader of Act Blue provided false testimony to the House investigation of this in 2023, the House committee that handles election law. So this is very, very bad for Act Blue, and this is going to turn into, I imagine it will turn into criminal indictments by the Justice Department by a lot of people, including potentially this former head of Act Blue.
No, it's kind of a bombshell. Mike, I tell you, can you hang on? Because I want to get to you in the next block and talk about Covington and Burling. It's Eric Holder's law firm. It's one of the most prestigious and powerful law firms in the nation's capital. It is also a lot of the muscle and back of the Democratic Party. To know that they're involved here and warn these guys about it shows you, and even for the New York Times to report on it. And the New York Times try to tamp it down as much as possible. But if you read between the lines, this is about as explosive as you can get. And it proves that people that have pushed this and tried to expose this for years, who were called conspiracy theorists and wingnuts. It turns out, guess what? They're right. And the very tough lawyers over at Covington understood that and were warning people about this internally. So we're going to take a short commercial break. Okay, Mike, we got a lot to cover and only a couple minutes to cover it. First off, this thing on Act Blue. This is huge. It looks like you're right. I think you're seeing criminal indictments in the future. Why is the New York Times write this? Covington leaked this to them. I'm because they're the Democratic muscle in this town. What's going on here?
I think Act Blue made the mistake of firing Covington, and this may be, I'm just guessing, this is just pure speculation on my part, but Covington is the most connected, most powerful Democrat law firm in Washington, D.C., and Act Blue fired Covington, and now you're seeing internal memos from Covington in the New York Times. So, payback's a bitch for Act Blue.
You do not cross. I'm telling you, folks, the law firms run this town. You don't cross the law. It's one of the reasons the Justice Department's got such a problem hiring people for President Trump's administration. The powers that be in the Republican law firms say you can't work for Trump. So it's sick. But Covington's a powerhouse. We're going to follow this closely. We're going to get O'Keefe up on this. All the folks like Davis and O'Keefe, War Room, that hammer this for years. Guess what? The memos from Covington tell you criminal activity or potential criminal activity. Mike, I'm totally confused because I'm not a lawyer. The appeals court kicked it back to the sentencing court for the judge to resentence Tina Peters. Is this good news or bad news?
This is outstanding news. The Colorado Court of Appeals, while upholding her conviction, and it's a bogus conviction, but at the end of the day, they reversed the sentence and remanded it back to Mesa County District Judge Matthew Barrett, who is a horrible human being, who put Tina Peters in prison, this 69-year-old woman at the time, in prison for 9 years. 9 years, because this Judge Matthew Barrett did not like Tina Peters' political views on the election. That is a clear First Amendment violation. As the Colorado Court of Appeals just said in its order, this gets sent back to this piece of garbage judge, this fake Republican rhino garbage human being of a judge who put a 69-year-old woman in prison for 9 years because he's garbage. And I'm a member of the Colorado bar, so they can file their bar complaint so I can tell them to go F themselves. This garbage judge put Tina Peters in prison for 9 years because he didn't like her views on the election. You can't do that in America. We don't live in China. And so they're going to give this garbage judge the opportunity to fix this. If he doesn't fix it, then I imagine that the governor is going to face tremendous pressure. Governor Jared Polis is going to face tremendous pressure to commute her sentence. He wanted to do it before.
But what you're saying is Polis is going to lean on this judge and say, "Get me off the hook. Do what's right. And let this woman go." Is that your thesis? That your theory of the case here?
I think the Court of Appeals just did that for Governor Jared Polis. Governor Jared Polis wanted to commute her sentence. And he also wanted to drop the income tax in Colorado down to zero. I mean, he's not really a leftist. He's basically just a gay libertarian. But, whatever. That's the best we can do in Colorado. But this is sent back to this garbage judge, Matthew Barrett. Let's hope he does the right thing here and frees Tina Peters immediately. Then Jared Polis doesn't have to do the dirty work of commuting Tina Peters' sentence and take the wrath from his lunatic left-wing base. And so let's just get her out of prison. This woman has suffered way too much. She is a political prisoner right now, as the Colorado Court of Appeals, these Democrat appointees on the Colorado Court of Appeals just made that crystal clear. She is a political prisoner. Tina Peters is in prison right now because she was politically persecuted because of her First Amendment beliefs, because this garbage judge in Mesa County, Colorado, Matthew Barrett, he's stupid enough to openly punish Tina Peters because of her First Amendment protected views. This guy is an idiot. He should not be on the bench. I hope that Harmeet Dillon opens up a federal civil rights criminal investigation on this judge, Matthew Barrett, because he's a garbage human being.
Mike, where do people go for your social media and Article 3 to find out more about this? You've been on this case from the beginning about Tina Peters, as many other people have.
Thank you, Steve. Article3project.org, article number 3project.org. Donate, follow us on social media. One of the action items, go to Take Action, and it's to light up the Colorado people, light up Governor Jared Polis, and help him find and keep his backbone and keep the pressure on these judges like garbage judge Matthew Barrett, and get Tina Peters out of prison immediately. She is a persecuted political prisoner.
A patriot and a saint. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you.